So for today's purposes, we're going to be going over arroyos, alluvial fans, and playas. So give me a second to share my screen. So obviously in desert climates, we know that we don't get that much rainfall, but often when we do get rainfall, it's associated with flash flooding. Why we get flash flooding in this type of environment is because the soil there is often very dry and very stiff. So what happens is the water is not able to infiltrate into the soil. Since this happens, the water ends up eroding over the landscape instead of sinking into it, such as other areas. So this erosion that ends up occurring causes there to be arroyos in the desert. So what exactly are arroyos? Well, this is an example of an arroyo. What exactly is it though? Well, if you look at this geological landscape, it's kind of hard to see from this photo because it's filled at the moment, but it has very steep walls around the edges, and the bottom is very flat. The bottom does contain a lot of gravels that end up flowing down with it, and the velocity is very high within these levels because of how steep it is and how flat it is. But what ends up happening is that these arroyos, end up forming alluvial flans. So this is an alluvial flan, and I'm about to share my screen for you can see how alluvial fan ends up forming in the first place. So give me a moment. So first off, I'm going to draw two little mountain forms. And then this is going to be our arroyos with the water flowing down. So what ends up happening is that this water ends up flowing down, and that we have gravels flowing downhill with it. And each time that there's a new flash flood, since it can't follow the same path as this one due to there being gravels in the way and etc., it ends up coming out a different way. So each time that there's a new flash flood, a new pathway forms. Ends up getting wider and wider due to there being the flash floods and new water deposits in new places. But the most important thing to remember about these alluvial plains is that the big grain sediments get deposited first. And as you keep on going down, the deposits get smaller. So big grains to small grains. So the front, this area right here is known as the mountain front, and it's very flat. And then also, the top of the alluvial flan will be known as the head. So this is where the big sediments will be located, and the bottom is known as the toe, where the small sediments will be located. Okay, so that's what you need to know for alluvial fans. Now moving on to playas. So this is an example of a playa in a desert. Playas are where leftover water collects. So it ends up being deposited away from the alluvial. So it's important to note, like I just said, it's an area beyond the toe of the alluvial. So what exactly does playa lakes consist of? Well, they are made up of dissolved salts and water. So pretty much when the lake evaporates, what it's left it with is the salt that is left behind, which is going to form evaporites, giving the playa this white coloration that it has. Okay, so for today we went over Arroyos, alluvial fans, and playas. Thank you.